Cecion de Metal.
¿Qué onda? Bienvenido a Cecion de Metal. Estás en el episodio número 12 de la segunda temporada de Cecion de Metal. Qué gusto tenerte por aquí. Bueno, ya sabes que me encanta agradecer a todas aquellas personas que han estado interactuando en el canal y en las redes. Qué chido, muchísimas gracias. Gracias por tu apoyo. De verdad, se siente padrísimo esto. Y si esta es la primera vez que visitas el canal, bienvenido. Espero que te quedes hasta el final y espero que te guste para que te suscribas a mi canal y me sigas en redes para que te enteres de todo lo que comparto. Las mejores bandas de metal las encuentras en tu sesión de metal. Este día estoy muy emocionada porque estoy con un gran músico. Simplemente con decirles en qué bandas ha estado, seguramente van a saber de quién hablo. Si eres fan de Sabotage, de Transiberia Orquestra, también estuvo de baterista en Metal Church un tiempo. Mi invitado del día de hoy, que seguramente ya sabes quién es, nos viene a hablar de otro de sus proyectos. Así que le doy la más cordial bienvenida a Jeff Plate de Alta Reign. Hey Jeff, welcome to Sesión de Metal.
Hello, Ceci. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you too. I'm so grateful to you because you contacted me. It was like Jeff Plate actually found Cecion de Metal. Wow, it's just amazing.
Thank you very much for having me. Hey, you know, I look online, I see other friends and bandmates doing interviews with people, and so I reach out. And a lot of times people will respond just like you. They're very happy to hear from me and happy to have me on their shows and talk about my music. And I appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Y bueno, voy a empezar las preguntas en español. Me gustaría saber más de Alta Reign, como por ejemplo, ¿es verdad que la banda se llama Alta Reign en honor a tu madre?
Yes, so Alta Reign is actually the product of a lot of music that I worked on with Zach Stevens back in the late 80s, early 1990s, in a band in Boston called Wicked Witch. And I worked with Zach Stevens in this band for a number of years, all throughout Boston and the New England area. Myself and my guitarist, Matt Leff, we used to jam all of the time. And I had a very primitive recording setup. It was just a cassette deck and a couple soundboards. But I recorded so much music that we never got to completely finish or even work on for that much at certain times. So years later, I was revisiting some of this music, and the music was so strong and we hadn't done anything with it. I asked Matt if he was okay if I actually finished some of these ideas and worked with some of his guitar riffs, and he was absolutely in favor of that. But anyhow, there was a song, there was a riff that Matt played and we jammed to, and I titled this riff Mother's Day. So this was like 30 years ago, and come to fruition a few years ago, you know, like 2020, when I was actually writing this material, I had the name of this song, which I knew I wanted to name the album Mother's Day, and I was still searching for a band name. As I was talking to a friend, she mentioned my mother, and she says, "Well, your mother's name is Alta, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes, Alta." And so I thought about it, and I wanted to find another word to match Alta. And Alta, you know, means higher, it means elevated, it means, you know, promising, it means great. And I wanted to find a word that matched the word Alta. So as much as people always, you know, kind of anticipate the album is named after my mother, it's actually the album and the song is named for Mother Earth. The song is about the earth. But the name of the band was certainly inspired by the song and also my mother's name. And when I came up with Alta Reign, I shared that with my bandmates. Everybody loved it. I shared it with some other friends. They thought it sounded great, and that became our name.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny how certain things happen. A lot of people don't understand how a band gets a name, or even what a song title means or what a song means. So yeah, there's always an interesting story to it.
Y bueno, a casi 3 meses del lanzamiento de su álbum Upon the Horizon, ¿qué tal ha sido la respuesta de la audiencia?
The response has been very good. I think we all realize in this day and age, when you release music digitally, it takes on a life of its own. You know, when you're trying to sell CDs or albums, that is difficult. But getting people to actually listen to your music is not difficult. Um, when we released Mother's Day in 2021, there was a lot of mystery behind, you know, what is this album going to sound like? Jeff Plate is writing this. He's kind of producing this, and he's leading the charge, so to speak, with this album. Once people heard it, I think there was a bit of surprise, but also everybody responded very well to what we recorded. Following that up with Upon the Horizon, we knew that we had to be equally as good, if not better. We all took it very much upon ourselves to improve everything we did for the second record, and the response has been just as good. I mean, it's been amazing to me and so rewarding to have your peers, you know, my peers in the music industry, listen to this record and absolutely love it. So for the most part, people who have listened to our music really enjoy what we're doing, because I think we've created something that sounds very unique and original, which is hard to do these days. We had no real pretension or goal as to what we wanted to sound like, but we developed a sound, we developed a formula, we carried this into Upon the Horizon. This album, actually, there was more participation from everybody in this album, because the first album was really myself and my guitar player Tommy Cook and my bass player Kevin McCarthy, who wrote mostly everything. The second album, there was contributions from Jane Mangini on keyboards and Colin Holloway and Zach Hamilton also. So, but we took the same formula, the same sound. You know, I do all the lyrics in the producing of the record, and I really think that Upon the Horizon improved on Mother's Day, and we're very happy with the results so far in the response.
En el primer disco de Alta Reign, titulado Mother's Day, que ya nos comentaste un poquito de esto, pues el tema principal trata sobre la madre naturaleza y cómo afecta el comportamiento del ser humano a la tierra. Y bueno, esto también es visible en la portada. Me gustaría saber, por ejemplo, con Upon the Horizon vemos a una mujer también en un caballo, con la tierra de fondo, un perrito y una ciudad destruida. En este álbum, ¿qué mensaje le quieres dar a la audiencia?
So, the artwork for Mother's Day is done by a man named Oleg, Voodoo Dark Art. He's from Russia. My friend and bandmate Zach Stevens, who does a project called Archangel, used this man for their album artwork, and I loved it. So I recruited him to do the artwork for Mother's Day. He had direction for that. Obviously, he came up with a really good piece for that album. Upon the Horizon, we wanted to kind of keep the same theme of the girl on the horse. I'm from a town called Horseheads. My sister was very much into riding horses, and it kind of ties into the whole Mother Earth thing. Upon the Horizon, the song and the song subject is really about, you know, karma. And it was started out based on my thoughts about the American Indian and how they really were just, you know, they had this beautiful land here, and we came, and you can't really say that we've made things better. And I think the American Indian has really taken a hit throughout the years because of our positions and our behavior. But the artwork was something that I wanted to portray Earth kind of, you know, at an end stage, at a place of somewhat disaster. The dog reflects on the song Have No Fear. And Have No Fear is a song about losing your dog, losing your pet, losing your best friend, losing any pet for that matter. But it also relates to losing a family member or a friend or just somebody that you love. And I have a yellow lab. His name is Georgie. And prior to that, our previous lab, whose name was Lucy, she passed away a couple of years ago. that dog kind of represents those two animals, and they are just so important in my life and for myself and my wife. But I wanted to place that animal, that character, on the album cover because it really means a lot. And animals are so loyal and they're so honest and they're so true. That's one part of it. But like I said, the other part was reflecting on the song Have No Fear and tying those ideas together.
Bueno, y ahora que nos comentas de Have No Fear, estuvimos viendo durante esta entrevista el video precisamente de Have No Fear. Al respecto, ¿qué nos podrías comentar sobre este video muy emotivo del que ya nos mencionaste sobre las mascotas que ya no están más con nosotros?
Yeah, so as I mentioned previously about Have No Fear and what the song is about, but the way this song came about was my father came down with cancer several years ago. We lost him in 2015. And I remember when we first got the news, you know, it was just such a punch in the gut. It was, you know what I mean. Everybody is affected by cancer in some way or another, and when it's a family member, it really hurts at first. So at the same time, my father gave me this news. He was also dealing with his dog who was dying, and the phrase "my best friend's best friend is dying" just popped into my head, and I couldn't get rid of it. And I knew I wanted to do something with this in a song at some point. When I was younger, I grew up in the country. I live in upstate New York. I still live on the land that I was raised on. But my parents really listened to country music all of the time when I was a kid. And there's an old song by Merle Haggard called "Okie from Muskogee." And there is just a very simple bass line in that song. And I could hear the song and the lyrics kind of developing around this bass line. So the genesis of this song came from my father and his dog, both who were sick. And my youth, you know, being raised on country music, and I tied those ideas together. And once I got together with Kevin McCarthy, my bass player, and we started working on this, everything really, really kind of came together. Then I finished out the lyrics. Tommy Cook came in and sang this song and just did such a beautiful job singing the song. But I also knew that I wanted some of the old school kind of country elements in this song also. And my producer, Joe Clapp, for Ultrasound Productions out in Boston, Massachusetts, him and I were talking about this song, and I said, Joe, I can hear banjo, I can hear steel guitar in this song. And he says, well, I have both. And I was like, okay, here's the spots I'm hearing them. This is what I'm thinking. And he wrote these parts that were just, we didn't have to do any editing. He just wrote these parts that fit perfectly into the song and along with the meaning of the song. I think it adds a real sense of sadness, but also beauty to the song. And then on the end of the song, I do a little homage to Blue Oyster Cult and Don't Fear the Reaper. And that riff just kind of happened one day when we were writing the song. And I was like, oh my God, that just would be a perfect ending to this. So we have a friend of ours, Wendy Drown. She did the female vocals in the end, and everybody just did a fantastic job. I think that the keyboard playing, the piano playing, the organ playing by Jay Mangini just adds so much to it. But vocally and musically, I'm very, very proud of this song, and I've got a very, very strong positive reaction from everybody who's seen the video too.
Y bueno, ya me gustaría terminar esta entrevista preguntándote si te gustaría darle algún mensaje a tus fans mexicanos.
Well, thank you for the support. I know it's been from far away, but I certainly appreciate all the support and the good words that I've received from so many people. You know, from the bands Sabotage and Metal Church that I've been in, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, obviously. I would love to and hope someday I can get down to Mexico to do a show with whatever band it may be. Alta Reign, Sabotage, could be something completely new. Who knows? But I hope the day comes that I'm able to get down there and play for the fans, because I know how tremendous and passionate they are, and I love playing to an audience like that.
Ya para cerrar esta entrevista, ahora sí, me gustaría que nos dijeras de qué forma te pueden contactar, cómo pueden adquirir tu mercancía y bueno, ¿en dónde pueden escuchar tu disco?
Yeah, so to look up on Alta Reign, just go to Alta Reign. Our Facebook page is Alta Reign /Facebook. Jeff Plate Music on Facebook also. My record label, Rat Pack Records /Alta Reign. That's where you can find all of our product there too. Also, we literally just got some new merchandise, and I'm just going to open up a store on the Facebook page and promote that too. So please send me a message. You can look up my personal Facebook page too and instant message me there. But Jeff Plate Music, Alta Reign on Facebook. Hit me up there, Rat Pack Records. Our music is available on Amazon and all the digital formats also. So we're out there. We're everywhere you could look to find music or streaming, Spotify, you name it. But yeah, I hope to hear from you, and it would be very nice to meet both of you and hopefully meet some fans in Mexico.
Gracias por quedarte al final de esta entrevista, espero te haya gustado. Yo me la pasé increíble con Jeff. Te voy a dejar toda la información en la descripción del video como siempre lo hago, para que si no conoces este proyecto te des una vuelta y escuches sus discos que están buenísimos, y más si eres fan de Sabotage, de Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Y me encantaría que me dejaras tus comentarios. Si te gustó el video, por favor, házmelo saber con tu like. Si no te has suscrito, como te mencioné en un inicio, por favor hazlo, con eso me apoyas muchísimo. Y así poder continuar con esta labor que me encanta, que me apasiona, que es el poder compartir música con ustedes. Y bueno, si ya te suscribiste a mi canal, también te pido de favor que me sigas en redes. Ahí también comparto otra información. Estoy compartiendo videitos de banda que me ha estado pidiendo que comparta su música. Así que vas a encontrar de todo un poco en Facebook. También me puedes seguir en Instagram, en TikTok y en X. En todas me encuentras como @Cecion de Metal. Y ya sabes, también el programa lo puedes escuchar martes y jueves a las 8 de la noche en Uroboric Radio. Espero verte en el episodio número 13. Nos vemos en la próxima capsulita. Chao.